Dogs play a major role in pretty much everybody's everyday life, whether like you have one, you know, someone that owns one, someone in your family owns one. Dogs are just out and about in the world. Dogs aren't exactly the easiest thing to take care of, but it also isn't impossible. Um, Trust me when I say dogs are one of the best things that has happened to me. I have 3 dogs. So the main thing I'm gonna be talking about is the medical like area of dogs, like the vet and why it's important to take your dog to the vet. But I have like a whole bunch of papers everywhere. But like taking your dog to the vet, okay. So if you have a dog or you plan on getting a dog, you have to be prepared to spend a decent amount of money on them. Like you can't just be like, oh well, like it's just a dog, so like I don't want to spend this or this, so like I don't want to spend money by taking them to like the vet for like a checkup. But like dogs need checkups like humans need physicals. Like my dog, we thought there was a problem. He had some bumps on him and we got them tested. There were tumors. They were cancerous. Not super dangerous to him, but after like a while they could have been. So we caught it pretty early on, which was like relieving. And we got them removed. It was about almost $400. Like this is just, that's his bill because he had to get surgery, you know, like anesthesia and all that. So it's pretty expensive, but worth it to know that my dog is healthy and okay. Goes for any dog really. Like if you notice that there's something wrong, like please just like get him to the vet as soon as you can. Like it's just important to make sure like your dog is healthy and okay and nothing will happen. In my town, you're only allowed 2 dogs, and we have 3. So we had to get each dog licensed. Here it's $11 a month, pretty much 10, but the state charges another dollar, so it's $11. But it's just to say that like we can't get in trouble for having 3 dogs. Like if we don't have that license, like if we weren't to have it, like the town could take away our dogs and don't want that. So like just be aware of that. Like if you plan on having like a lot of dogs, like make sure like you know like the rules of your town about dogs. Also like another thing about like expensive, this and this 2 different things, but flea treatment, which goes with like all the vet stuff and all that, like you have to be willing to give your dog the treatment that like they need. And also food, dog food can be pretty expensive. We give my dogs dry food, cans of like gravy and like meat, and we also like to give our dogs rice and vegetables, like steamed vegetables, just to keep them healthy, like healthy, but like give them like a pretty healthy, balanced diet, which is important for like any dog, anyways. But it can be pretty expensive. We feed our dogs 3 times a day. They each get 1 cup, but our Shiloh Shepherd gets 2 because he's big. But yeah, they eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know for some people only feed like their dog like twice a day. I think it just depends on like the person, like the breed of the dog, but we do 3 times a day, 1 cup. But also, it's important to keep your dog entertained. You don't want your dog to get lonely. You don't want him or her to be inside all day. So it's important to take your dog out. It doesn't even have to be on a walk. I mean, they love walks and car rides and all that, but just taking your dog outside for some fresh air, maybe like throw a ball, throw some toys, even having toys like inside for like when you're not around. Like if you're at like work, you're at school, make sure that like they have stuff to keep them entertained, so they're not just like being rambunctious and chewing everything in your house, or like they're not just sleeping all day because they're lonely. Like if you can during like work, if you have like a lunch break, and maybe if like you're not too far from home, like go like check in on your dog, like eat lunch at home. If like you were just gonna eat it alone at work, not like you know what I mean? Just like, or some people, if they know they're gonna be gone for like most of the day, they'll get someone to like watch their dog. Or some people take dogs to like it's basically like like daycare but for dogs. Definitely like check in to make sure that like your dog's gonna be in a safe place. Also training your dog, super important. um it's hard to explain how to train a dog and like how we trained our dogs. Like my one dog, he had to go to this place called Canine Connection to get help for training because he's like a very anxious dog and he struggles with other dogs, like not ours because he grew up with them, but he gets anxious around other dogs and around new people. Like he has to adjust to the people, and with the new dogs it's just not an option. Like he's never gonna really like other dogs, so we got him trained. I don't really know how to explain what they did, but it's just like if you're having trouble with like your dog, or like you don't have like a whole bunch of time to train them, like I recommend taking them somewhere. Might be pricey, but again, like same thing, like dogs can be expensive. Like you have to be willing to care for a dog and give them attention and love and be able, like willing to spend money on them. It's just super important to make sure that your dog is healthy and happy. And there's so much more to taking care of a dog, but it's just like beyond like what I can say. So that's just some really big points I thought were important to caring for a dog.